This is Game Set Match Kentucky episode 55, recorded on Saturday, December 20th, 2025, entitled Deck the Halls with Boughs of Polly? Merry Christmas, everybody. It's time for another holiday episode of Game Set Match Kentucky, where we talk about all things related to tennis in Kentucky, especially the Central Kentucky Tennis Series. I'm Chris Godby, the chairman of the CKTS, where the lines are good and sandbagging is for golf. I am here in Russell Springs with a stack of presents right over there on the floor that need to be wrapped, and so they are there out the corner of my eye, calling to me saying, as soon as you wrap up taping, you have to wrap these presents. So wrap and then wrap. And what about you, Chad? Have you finished your shopping?
It's 5 days left. I mean, who has the presents bought and wrapped at this point in time? There's plenty of time.
Yeah. Even my wife, who usually stays ahead of all this stuff, she still has some things to wrap. So Chad Young may or may not have finished his shopping, but he is at the he's in Bowling Green at the Warren County Tennis and Sports Facility. I almost have that memorized now. So season's greetings to you. Do you have big holiday plans?
Oh, well, first and foremost, no comments about the improvements to Studio D. I mean,
haven't gotten there yet. Oh, I mean, it
no.
speaks for itself. Those twinkling lights in the background, the mood lighting that you have set in there for a warm holiday cozy experience.
Absolutely. Just fireplace and cocoa just around the corner here.
I was going to ask what the holiday vibe is there at the Warren County Tennis and Sports Facility. Do you have like icicle lights on all the nets on the court and piping in Christmas music?
No, we don't have music at all. And we've got a tree out, but we're not as decorated as we have been because I just haven't been in the mood to decorate that much. But, I was going to try to, be a little bit more festive today. And so I bought a little elf hat, but I didn't try it on at the store. And even with some modifications, I mean, this thing's just not big enough. So, I mean, I even tried to cut a couple spots here just to get, I don't have that big of a head. So I don't know if I'm designed for like a child or what. So anyway, I'm not as festive this year as maybe in years past.
Well, I didn't do much here either. I've got on a fake Christmas sweater T-shirt. That's the best I could come up with today. But anyway, today on this edition of Game Set Match Kentucky, schedule reveal. The 2026 CKTS schedule is being announced right here on this program. And there is an added surprise that I believe that everybody is going to love to hear. Also, we have a Challenge the Call question, plus tennis news and announcements and a whole lot more that you never asked Santa for. But first, I would like to start with some personal news. Chad knows this news already. I, after a 20-year retirement from coaching high school tennis, have decided to come back to coaching. And this time it's boys and girls, Russell County High School boys and girls tennis. The other night we had a little event where I got to speak to the parents. Yeah, we had this.
Chad Young didn't have a press conference when he was named the South Warren tennis coach back in 2010. That was a phone call, and that was it. We didn't have any ceremony, that's for sure.
Yeah, phone call. Hey, you got the job. You need to, make sure your players get all their physicals.
No, it was we're starting a program. We're starting a school. I called Chris Decker, said, hey, do you have a tennis coach? No, not really. I said, well, I'd kind of be interested. He goes, all right, well, let me talk to the principal at the time. And I was told probably within 24 hours I had the job. And so, yeah, it would have been nice to have a press conference and wear a nice suit coat and shirt like you've got on there in the picture. That's fancy.
Well, at Russell County High School, we like to do it right, and they sort of do this with all head coach hires from what I understand. So I was very nervous leading up to that, but it was fun because we had some former players that came. I had reached out to some former players and told them that I was going to come back and coach again, and they're like, "Oh, wow, that's awesome," and like. I said, yeah, well, we're going to have this thing on Thursday night, 5 o'clock, if you want to come. And I didn't really think anybody would come, except one of them that I will mention in a minute for sure had to be there. But so that was pretty cool to have them there. So, but anyway, it was just a chance for me to, and I knew some of the players because my son's on the team, and I knew some of the players, I knew some of the parents, and I was Booster Club president until I resigned like the day before to accept that job. And but anyway, so we were just in there like 25 minutes, and then we hung around, and some of the former players and we told a bunch of stories, and some of them told me some funny things that happened on the bus that I was not aware of on road trips, and so it's probably best that I didn't know about some of those things back then. But anyway, it was all a lot of fun, and these guys are my assistant coaches. Nathan McQuarrie there on the right, he's been the assistant coach for a few years, and he's a science teacher at Russell County Middle School. And he also, CKTS players will know him from playing tournaments on the tour and for running the First National Bank Russell County Open. The gentleman on the left is a former player of mine, and his name is Tyler Matney, and he was an excellent player, still an excellent player, and he is going to be another assistant coach. So really excited about having both of those guys, and we're ready to get started. My family was there.
So when was your last season? Your last season was 05 or 06?
2006.
Okay.
2006. That was after 10 years, really 12 years.
They haven't messed with the format of anything in the last 19, 20 years.
They have. Yes, they have. You're being sarcastic. A lot has changed, and I'm going to have to learn a lot of things. So,
yeah. So, well, good.
Our first match is right there at the Warren County Tennis and Sports Facility. You scheduled it with the previous coach. So,
yeah.
Right now, that's the first thing that's on the schedule.
Unfortunately, I won't be there.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah.
But I'll have an assistant coach who will welcome you warmly. So we play on Friday night, and then against Bowling Green, and then both Bowling Green and South Warren play Russell County on Saturday. So it's always a fun way to kick off the season. We're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to that really long bus ride all the way from Russell Springs to Bowling Green. But anyway. Well, that's enough about that. I just wanted to share that news and announce my return to high school tennis against my better judgment. But my family was cool with it, and so here we go. I'm back. So everybody's probably ready for this, okay? This is going to be the reveal of the 2026 tournament schedule, and we're going to look at it right after this word from Vision Cabinet Source in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Are you thinking about a home renovation or a new build? Start with the cabinets, because great spaces begin with great design, and there's no better place to start than Vision Cabinet Source in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Vision Cabinet Source delivers premium cabinetry backed by a 17-step finishing process, ensuring top-quality craftsmanship that looks beautiful and lasts for years. From kitchens to bathrooms to office spaces, their wide selection of styles and finishes means you'll find the perfect fit, whatever your vision. And it's not just for locals. They ship nationwide, so no matter where you are in the U.S., you can get high-quality cabinets delivered right to your door. Whether you're a homeowner, builder, or contractor, Vision Cabinet Source makes it easy to get the look you want at a price that makes sense. Visit visioncabinet.com or call 270-465-3222 to get started. That's Vision Cabinet Source, where your vision becomes reality. Okay, so now, without further ado, let's talk about the 2026 CKTS schedule. Chad, you were very instrumental in helping me put this together, and we waited, of course, until the USTA Kentucky League Championship Calendar for 2026 came out, and we work around that as best as we can, right?
Yeah, just because it's in the best interest of the tournaments to not conflict with one of the state championships. Sometimes we can't avoid it because there's some things about the tour that we want to maintain where we have 2 weeks in between tournaments, and we're staying away from big holidays and whatnot. Although E-Town likes the July 4th weekend, but
yep. Mm-hmm.
So those are the things to consider, and because we have a lot of people that play a lot of the tour events, and we don't want them to have to make a choice. And so, as best we can, we've been able to pretty much avoid most of the USTA calendar, and for the most part, we didn't have to shift too much from last year's schedule with this year's.
You're right. There's a lot about last year's schedule that is the same, and there's a lot about last year's schedule that was the same as the very year before it too. I think that when we get a little deeper into the year, I think we bumped a couple of things back a weekend, and then we've added something at the end. We'll get to that. That we did though. There are three major events we try to avoid with the championship, the USTA Kentucky Championship Calendar. We can't avoid it all, like you said, but the adult 40 and over, because we have a lot of our tournament players that are involved in that, and then the adult 18 and over, and the state mixed. We also try to avoid that. We were able to avoid tri-level also this time, and there's one or two, like the adult 55 and over. We couldn't avoid that one, but
yeah, because in that situation, the USTA goes 55s, and then the next weekend is 40, and then 2 weeks after that, 18. So there's really no way for us to avoid all three, but we can avoid 40 and 18, which are the ones that are the largest and probably draw the most players.
Mm-hmm. And maybe people ask you, they certainly ask me throughout November, do you folks have a schedule yet? Do you know what the calendar is for, and we wait until that championship calendar comes out, and then we get to work right away. But it doesn't get fixed in one day, especially when you're trying to add another event. So we made a lot of calls and contacts. Some of these dates were very easy to set, and some of them really took a lot of discussion to make them happen. So let's get into it. The 2026 season will kick off May 30th and 31st at Campbellsville. Now, I'm not calling that the Miller Park Tennis Classic just yet because, well, it's got a new director this year for one thing. It's Anna Brown. She's the head coach of the Campbellsville University men's and women's tennis team. She may want to headquarter her tournament at Campbellsville University. I don't know. There's also so that would mean Miller Park would still be used, but maybe not as much, especially the second day. So then do you call it Miller Park? I don't know. That's going to be up to her. Does she want to be traditional? Does she want to call it the Campbellsville University Tiger Takedown? I don't know. Also, Taylor County High School, a couple miles away, is working on a new tennis facility. I understand it's maybe 6 or 8 courts. And who knows if that facility could be involved if it's finished in time. I don't know. I haven't made any contact about that. But I'm just saying, we know when Campbellsville is. We don't know exactly what it'll be called. We know who's running it, and we know when it is. So, Campbellsville.
There'll be a tournament. Now, there'll be a tournament, and we know who's going to run it. Some of the other details will be filled in.
Now, of course, Amber Brown and her husband Evan Brown put on the Campbellsville tournament the last couple of years, and now they've moved to Nicholasville area, so they're not running it now, and Anna Brown will be running it. So anyway, let's move to the next event that Chad is very familiar with. On June 13th and 14th, it's the Sidney Cassidy Memorial. I believe this will be the 3rd annual. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that'll be based at South Warren, correct?
Correct. South Warren and Buchanan. Those are the two sites that we'll use for that.
And hope you have some better weather this year so you can play it outside.
That's right. Last year was all indoors. Oof. Thanks.
Yep. Still had fun, though. All right, let's move on. Our third event, no surprise, July 4th weekend, July 4th and 5th, will be the State Farm E-Town Open in Elizabethtown. This is put on by Karen Henson and the E-Town Tennis Commission. It's a 4th of July tradition at Freeman Lake Park. So that's July 4th and 5th. Then on July 18th and 19th, pretty much the same weekend it was the last 2 years, will be the Danville Open in Danville, Kentucky. It'll be based at Millennium Park. Also, we'll be using, as always, the Bate Middle School 6-court facility there. The tournament director, again, will be Teo Costello. And then on August 1st and 2nd, in its normal weekend, we will have in Somerset the Alton Blakely Lake Cumberland Open, put on by Allison Sobiek with a lot of volunteer help from the Lake Cumberland Tennis Association. Then on August 15th and 16th, Chad Young gets a chance to right all the wrongs he did with running the Sidney Cassidy 2 months before, and he has another tournament. The Kids on the Block Points for Puppets tournament will be on the same weekend it was last year, August 15th and 16th in Bowling Green. Do you want to mention anything about that?
I would just say I don't think we'll be in the same locations. We might be South Warren and Buchanan for that one as well. Our efforts to use Kariakis last year were met with mixed results. So
really,
I would say we're probably not going to be at Kariakis, which means we'll probably be out at South Warren and Buchanan Park again.
Well, this is a story I don't know. You'll have to tell me off the air sometime. I don't know if it's worth telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. It's worth telling. I don't know. Okay. We'll probably have to keep that in a private setting.
We'll keep that off the air then. Okay. All right.
We gave it a go.
All right. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th tournament of the season, as usual, will be on Labor Day weekend. That's the Glasgow Open at Barron County High School in Glasgow, Kentucky. Longtime director and CKTS board member Trina Rickard runs that tournament. Another Labor Day tradition, the Glasgow Open. And then last year's final tournament of the year was the First National Bank Russell County Open. That was 1 week earlier last year, but this year it will be on September 19th and 20th in Russell Springs, with a few matches in nearby Jamestown, which is about 8 minutes. All right. So
that's not the last tournament this year?
Well, I said it was the last tournament last year. Uh-huh. This year, we have decided to have a 9th tournament. A 9th tournament. All right, get ready. October 3rd and 4th, we are having a tournament in Lexington, Kentucky. Now, I mentioned Amber Brown and her husband Evan used to run the Miller Park Tennis Classic. They are running this one in Lexington. The location is to be determined, but they are talking with some facilities, and I think they have some good options. So we are excited to add Lexington to the tour. We had a brief opportunity to do this a few years ago that disappeared as an opportunity almost as quickly as it came. And I always hoped we would get another chance, and here we are. The tour is going to Lexington.
It's exciting. I mean, I think we're excited about the ability to expand into the second largest market in the state. Certainly, the second largest tennis market as well. I would say what Danville and Somerset may be the ones that have some Lexington players that are more likely to play their tournaments.
Right.
But,
Danville is half an hour, just little more than half an hour from Lexington. Somerset's a kind of a straight shot down Highway 27, and so they do pick up some Lexington players there. We've had Lexington players come to Elizabethtown quite a bit too. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about expanding into the market. I think it'll be good for the tour. I think it'll be a good tournament stop. So I'm 100% in favor of this.
Now, one question that players might have is, how does this affect the tour passes? Does it have any effect on entry fees or anything like that? Those are questions we have not answered yet, and we are getting together in February to discuss some options on this. And also, I'll say we don't know if this having 9 tournaments is just for this 1 year, and then we don't know. Things are fluid like this. Tournaments come and go. Sometimes facilities become unavailable or too bad to use, and sometimes directors and organizers are no longer available in a certain place. We've seen that before. We have former cities on the tour that don't have tournaments anymore. Harrodsburg being one of them. We always like to have a tournament there, and it's a great location, but the facilities kind of fell away. The volunteers kind of fell away, and so we didn't have one there. Didn't have one in Russell Springs for many years until the new facility was built. So things change. I don't know if we'll stay with 9. And 8 was enough for me. I always said we will not have more than 8 tournaments. Famous last words. But Lexington is it's too much of an opportunity to pass up.
Yeah, and Evan and Amber have proven to be more than adequate tournament directors. So they're going to put on a quality event.
Yes.
So normally if we were to expand and go into a new market, you don't know if you have somebody that's going to be able to run the type of event that we're used to. But obviously that's not a concern, and it's a big opportunity for growth. So I hope people will make plans to support that inaugural event.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, the weekend is not ideal. Some people will be on fall break when that tournament happens. I know that. But, you couldn't turn that down. You couldn't turn down the Browns wanting to have one because, like you said, they're very experienced at this. They enjoy running tournaments. They're running one next month. They ran one this past month in Bowling Green. They're running one next month. We'll talk about that in announcements coming up a little bit later too. But 2026, here we go. Ready or not, we're coming for 2026. All right. Well, Game Set Match Kentucky is proud to partner with the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. For only $11 a month, you can do your part to help provide homes for veterans and first responders in need.
My name is Wally Joyner. I was a first baseman for the Angels, Padres, Royals, and Braves. I give the Tunnel to Towers because of what they provide for the veterans, the military, the first responders, the police, the firemen who go out and put their lives in danger for our freedoms. I think it's an incredible charity. Never forget.
Well, winter is just getting started, and lots of outdoor nets are down. Some people take them down for the winter. Chad, do you guys take them down?
No, it's really peculiar for people to do that because
you think so?
Because Kentucky's weather's so wacky that it's not. It's pretty nice out there today.
Yeah,
our crew generally plays anything above 30, but I understand why some people take nets down because they don't want them to get damaged by the weather. But Kentucky's such a weird. We don't really have harsh winters, at least in this part of the state. So I would I wouldn't ever suggest taking nets down. Maybe at the high schools because they're locked and they're not really used, but any kind of public facility, I would think that there are going to be opportunities to play in December and January. So we don't take ours down. And, if we have nice days like today, if it gets in the 40s or 50s, especially, I expect people to be using the outdoor courts.
Yeah. Well, nets are no fun to take down and try to roll up and bunch up and stuff them to store them somewhere. Now, at my court, I do take the net down and put it in the barn. Not a big deal, just one net. But and at Russell County High, they're up, and now the new coach is trying to decide. Well, it's only a few more weeks. We might need them again, so I might as well leave them up. I don't know. I was just curious about that, but some places take them down. There's still a lot happening with tennis in Kentucky, so let's share some announcements from USTA Kentucky.
All right, it's time to make your plans for the annual Kentucky Tennis Weekend. It's a week later this year. It's February 6th and 7th at the Louisville Marriott East. We're excited to celebrate 2025 and kick off 2026 as we prepare for another great year of tennis around the Commonwealth. This weekend, we'll begin with committee meetings on the afternoon of Friday, February 6th, followed by the USTA Kentucky board meeting that night, and then Friday night concludes with the Kentucky Tennis Hall of Fame induction dinner.
On day 2 of Kentucky Tennis Weekend, the morning begins with a community development workshop for community tennis associations. And then the weekend culminates beginning at noon with the USTA Kentucky Awards Luncheon. Speaking of that luncheon, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back.
We haven't done a bad enough job to get fired yet.
We'll keep trying, though. This will be the year they'll can us. All right? Boy, did those guys get canned.
Last year, we kind of talked about sequels and how sequels never live up to the original. So, rare territory now. Aren't too many that get into. We're a trilogy now.
Have you started working on some jokes yet?
I haven't thought a bit about it, to be honest.
Okay. Well, let's be thinking of that. Okay. But yeah, Chad and I will be hosting the awards luncheon. It's always a good time. At least we're having a good time. I don't know if the audience is having a good time, but we're having a good time. So anyway,
they're just ready to eat their dinner and go home and get their awards.
Right. That's right. Well, to register or get more information on Kentucky Tennis Weekend, there's a registration link in the latest USTA Kentucky e-newsletter. And if you represent a CTA, you got an email this past week from Maddie Henning with all the details and a registration link for your CTA representative. So we hope to see you there. Kentucky Tennis Weekend. The past couple of weeks, USTA Kentucky has released their 2026 championship calendar. We talked about that and how it affects the way we schedule CKTS tournaments. It's the 2026 championship calendar for adult league championships. So put these in your planner, mixed in with the 9 CKTS tournaments, and you've got all the tennis you can eat in 2026. So we're not going to read all of these dates for you. They are available online. But Chad, I just wondered if you had any thoughts or reflections when you saw the calendar come out.
Well, the biggest thought I had was the fact that you've got several open bids. The adult 40 and over, I think, based on the rotation of the past, should have been in Louisville, but that's open. Mixed doubles is open. Tri-level is open. So I'm curious to know where those tournaments are going to be held. We're hosting Combo again this year. That is a week later. It looks like they flip-flopped the Combo weekend with the singles and beginner invitational, which is a new event that they're trying to get off the ground. And I think mixed was moved back a weekend as well.
It was.
I don't think there was much. It wasn't much change to the 55s and the 40 and the 18 and over, but it looked like they moved mixed back. Looks like I'm not sure if tri-level was moved, and then they flip-flopped Combo and and the singles invitational. But the biggest is where the 40 and over is going to be played this year. That's probably the thing that jumped out at me the most.
Well, to keep up on everything happening with USTA Kentucky, visit them at USTAKY.com or follow them on Facebook and Instagram. If you would like for us to promote your local tennis news or events right here on an upcoming episode of this show, you can email us the information to info@gamesetmatchky.com. All right, well, it's time to look at some community announcements that are happening. Do you have anything to share about the Southern Kentucky Tennis Association?
Yeah, we've got a couple things coming up. One is a collaborative effort between SOKY and Warren County Parks and Recreation here at the indoor facility. We've been doing Monday night match play this winter. We started with an adult session in September, and then we had a junior session, and then we're currently in the middle of another adult session, both men and women. And our final junior session is going to be January 26th through March 2nd. That's Monday nights. We have an intermediate group that plays 6 to 7:30, and the advanced group plays from 7:30 to 9. It's been very, very well received. We've been full. The adult session was full. The junior session was full. We do have some UTR limits because there's just so many kids, and space is limited. So we opened up registration for that as soon as the last junior session ended. So we've got some spots left, especially for the advanced kids. It's a UTR of 3 or higher. So get signed up today if you're interested in that. That'll be Monday nights, January 26th through March 2nd, which is right up to when the high school season gets started. And then, we have beginner clinics here at the facility through Nicole Martin and the Good Sport Tennis Club. And we're excited to offer a intermediate clinic for, your elementary school and middle school age kids, not beginners, kids that can rally in a live ball situation. That's going to start January 7th. That'll be from 4 to 5:30 every Wednesday from 4 to 5:30, and that's $15 per session. You can register through Serve Tennis, or you can find that link through the SOKY Tennis website.
And then finally, I'll pitch this one in. The winter flights had winter flights back in December, 2 weekends ago today, as we tape this actually. And man, did I hurt my elbow that day, and it still hurts. But Evan and Amber Brown are having another winter flights at the Warren County Tennis and Sports Facility on January 10th. That's a Saturday. The deadline is January 6th, and there's a QR code there on your screen if you want to register for the winter flights. You'll get 3 pro set matches guaranteed that day, indoors, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
And,
they use
WTN.
They use WTN to try to group people into these pools, but it was very, very successful in December. One of his largest ones. So we're excited to have another one again in the new year.
I'm going to have to sit that one out while I figure out what's going on with this elbow. Got an appointment in a couple of weeks, so hopefully I can get some answers and I can start playing again. I'm in quite a bit of pain, so anyway. But you can learn more about SOKY Tennis at sokytennis.net or visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/SOKYTennis. All right, so I want to do something here for Lake Cumberland Tennis Association. So speaking of other CTAs, Lake Cumberland Tennis Association had their year-end party last month in November, and I was there. I'm on the board there. James England, board member there, he makes videos, and he made a really good video, kind of a year in review for LCTA, and he couldn't be there that night. I can't remember. He had some obligation and couldn't be there, and he sent me the video and asked me if I would bring my laptop and play it on the big TV at the restaurant there. Sure enough, I forgot to bring my laptop. Couldn't connect from my phone wirelessly to play it over the TV that way. And so I apologize, James. I did not get to play that video, which I made this apology already. I wanted to make it here also, and I wanted to play the video here. So without further ado, here's a year-end wrap-up look at the Lake Cumberland Tennis Association.
This year, the Lake Cumberland Tennis Association proved once again why tennis is more than a game. It's friendships forged in long rallies. It's competition that pushes us, inspires us, and brings out our best. It's the laughter between points, the high fives after tough matches, and the camaraderie that keeps us coming back to the court. From weeknight leagues to weekend tournaments, LCTA brought our community together. Players of all ages, all levels, all stories were united by a shared love of the sport. And behind every match were the organizers and volunteers who made it all possible, building events that felt like home and moments we'll be talking about for years. This year wasn't just about wins and losses. It was about community and the growing family that is Lake Cumberland Tennis Association. This was our year.
Very cool, James. Good job.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw they shared that on social media, and I was pretty impressed.
It's been on social media. But I felt so bad about forgetting to show it that night while all the volunteers are gathered there together that I thought, well, at least I can play it on this show and give it a little bit more exposure. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff at Lake Cumberland Tennis Association. And for more information about them, you can visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Lake Cumberland Tennis. Okay, Chad, we have a challenge the call question today. Are you ready?
All right. Yes.
Would the CKTS give serious consideration to adding a 50 or 65 or 70 men's division to their tournaments? Many older men may sign up for this that wouldn't want to compete against the younger men that are in the 40 and over division. And I always mark these messages as anonymous unless someone has specifically said it's okay that you use my name. I also condensed this a little bit just to fit on the screen. But what do you think?
Well, I think the answer is yes, we would give it serious consideration. But there's a lot that goes there are a lot of factors. I will say that CKTS tournaments offer a lot of divisions. That's a lot of trophies.
22 or 23 divisions, yeah.
That's a lot of trophies. We have some divisions that don't make, and you can speak to this more than I can. I mean, we're always discussing among the board about what events are working, what are not. If we felt that there was demand for men's 70 singles or 70 doubles, we would do that. But we've offered age group divisions in the past, and they haven't really done all that well.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. Yeah,
even the 40s.
Sometimes the 40 and over struggles. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it wasn't that long ago that we had a 50 and over singles and 50 and over doubles. And the numbers were really low, and there were several occasions where there was one entrant or no entrants, and there was no match, and a tournament director was stuck with a trophy made for that division that they didn't get to use and spent money on. And we after a few years of trying it, we just dropped it. Yep. Now, could we try it again? Maybe. We're definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah, and one thing to point out is any tournament is autonomous and can offer divisions that aren't a part of the tour, and obviously those that won't be any points toward the season or anything like that. But I mean, if a tournament site, some tournaments have done things like that. We've offered younger groups for kids. We've offered women's C doubles, which is not on the tour, but I had a group of women that wanted to play a couple of years ago, and I offered women's C doubles for them. So any tournament can run additional events if they want to. And I run an L4 in September, and first year we did all age group and didn't have great turnout. Last year and again this year, it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid where we offer some age group and some level based. And it just seems people prefer the level based stuff because they'd rather know that they're playing against a 4-0 or a 3-5 or a 3-0, regardless of whether they're 50, whether they're 30, or whether they're 20. And I'm just using those broad age groups. But, a lot of people don't necessarily even want to play 40s because, a lot of times our 40-year-old divisions are A players, 4-0 players. And if you're a 3-0, you don't want to play against guys just because they're 40 if they're that much better than you. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing you have to keep in mind.
So yeah, we'll talk about it. We will give it some consideration because it's been gone for a few years, so it's worth at least talking about. And that may mean that we look at the divisions we offered last year and decide to discard one of those and add a potential older men's division in its place. So we just don't know. So these are things that we talk about, and so we appreciate the question. And if anybody else has questions, you can always email us at challenge@gamesetmatchky.com. So that will serve out another Christmas edition of Game Set Match Kentucky, and thanks to you for watching or listening or however you're getting this podcast on an app or a mobile device or on the computer, iPad, whatever. While you're in that app, though, you can give us a 5-star rating and leave us a short review. It could actually be our Christmas present. Our website is Game Set Match KY for all things about the show, and you can follow this show on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. The CKTS is also on the same social media platforms at CKTS Tour. Chad is on X at Chad Young Tennis, and I am on X at Chris Godby. Thanks again to our sponsor, Vision Cabinet Source. We will be taking on additional sponsors for 2026. So if you would like to support the work that we do here on Game Set Match Kentucky, reach out to me at info@gamesetmatchky.com for details. Chad, I guess I'll see you in 2026.
Yeah, see you in 2026 unless you swing by here next week. We've got a couple days over the break that we're open. We're closed on Christmas Day and the day after Christmas, Boxing Day, and we're closed for New Year's Day and the day after that, whatever that's called. But other than that, we're open. It'll be busy because a lot of people want to play tennis.
People are on town, on vacation. A lot of students are at home, with their families from college or whatever. And yeah, I bet the courts will be busy on the days that you're open for sure.
They will. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and looking forward to 2026.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's our cue to leave, I suppose, as usual. And Hawkeye says we are out. Well, thanks again, everybody, for a great year with you here on Game Set Match Kentucky and with you at our CKTS tournaments. And 2025 has been fun. 2026 is going to be fun, +1 with an extra tournament. And I hope that everybody has a Merry Christmas. I believe I speak for Chad when I say that. And we wish all of you a very blessed New Year. So until next year, I'm Chris Godby with Chad Young, and this has been Game Set Match Kentucky.